everybody? I am happy to bring you another game here. We're just kind of hopping straight into it, to be totally honest, since I am getting here a little bit late, but this is going to be the KIR versus KING5 for the ESEA Intermediate Season 32 North America lower bracket semifinals, or quarterfinals, I should say. And we're just kind of jumping into things on round number 3 here. KING5 have taken a 2-0 lead right now, and they look to extend it to 3, but they're going to have a tough task because the KIR, they made this from a 2-on-4 to a 1-on-4 retake, and what was that? Mario just teleported out of Sinz's path already. Just getting off to an explosive and somewhat laggy start here. But there's still a lot of Counter-Strike to be played here. The KIR will finally get another one on the board here, and it looks like buying into this will be both teams here. KING5, despite coming up 2 rounds already here, they aren't exactly the healthiest on money. They're going to have to force up everything they got here, and it doesn't look pretty, in particular in Morrow here. He's stuck with only a single smoke here. We'll toss it out just like that as an A execute begins here. Scar slowly rotating around over by Olaf now. Or Hell. Dalton holds down Pop Dog, not scared by one flash. The second one might do the trick, but Dalton, he's actually spotted someone. That's Rodney P. If he peeks again, he might be in for a nasty surprise because Dalton is still watching this angle, and just like that, walks into his loving arms here. The A execute has begun from the T side, but it might just fall flat on his face here because B-Pizzle's the only one to find a kill. Finally, Brian will get involved. Same thing with Morrow. Now it's a 2-on-2. This has gone from solid situation to now a little bit of a shaky one. The KIR nonetheless should come out on top here as they made it down to a 2-on-1 here. Bry left alone. He's sitting at 5-1 right now, gonna make it 7 in the best possible scenario for him here. He spots one, doesn't want to take the fight just yet. Will instead choose to toss a nade at Scar's toes. Eventually, actually, will walk into his crosshair. Bry, he's actually made this a little bit winnable. He has plenty of time to do this with. The only thing that he doesn't have is the bomb, but neither player knows where it is. Actually, maybe Gabe has a idea of it because Gabe is just going to be perfectly aligned and struggles with a few shots, but eventually gets it done in the end. The KIR even things up 2-2 early here on Train. This is one of those maps that is historically CT-sided, so you're going to want to hope that the KIR can put up a pretty heavy CT half. They've assumingly lost a pistol in follow-up round, but seem to be flawless otherwise here. The KING5, they are not exactly the healthiest on money here. They're going to be forcing at P250s plus a little bit of a utility, a couple of grenades. Immediately trying to push out over towards the A site here. Dalton will have to receive. Merciv will actually find the first frag, so it's a quick couple for him, and surprisingly, KING5 are actually making this relatively expensive. They found one with a P250, another with a Glock, and soon Merciv might fall as well because he's reloading his AUG, has a good angle on the spray, but as it fades, so might his dreams of getting out this round alive here. Morrow makes a deal even sweeter for KING5, but again, Sins tries to shut things out for now. 2-on-1 again. KING5, even on a full eco like this, have made it very competitive. As they drop another player, it'll be up to Merciv, 18 HP in a dream, and the dream does come true in the end here as they will take down Morrow. So low on HP, I'm surprised he actually got out of that in just such a healthy and safe fashion, but it works out in the end for the KIR as they officially take the lead. I'm not exactly sure who chose what. I believe this is the pick of KING5, if I would imagine, considering the KIR is starting on CT. I have to like to see that confirmed. So you have to imagine KING5 are confident on this map, and well, going with confident peeks out towards T-Con like that is already a very good start. Makes it a 4 versus 5, something we haven't seen from the KING5 these past couple of rounds. Gabe is looking for an aggressive shot here. Notices the smoke go out over towards sidewalk. It's not perfect, so he will go ahead and reassume a position. Buying into this one is KING5, and they managed to make things even just for now. Merciv might have spotted Darko. No, if he did, he sure as hell ain't spot on the trigger, but that second peek does the job just fine. Utility is running low for KING5, but they're going to go ahead and try to commit to this A execute anyway, and it seems to be working out just fine for them. Sins and Gabe will be left alone here after his teammates go down, their respective teammates go down, and it's already made better for King5 now as they are primed to get their third round on the board, and they will do it, only dropping one player in the midst of it. And considering how the Kier managed to even that up relatively quickly, how they made it a 4-on-4, I'm surprised if they didn't manage to get any frags after the fact. Losing every single player, losing every single duel, really. Not exactly the healthiest look, but Kier are going to take what they got here up against King5, the lower seeded team, I believe, in this match as we're heading into it. One player is definitely having some internet issues. I am going to be very surprised if we don't see a pause come out. Darko, despite the lag, is going to go ahead and try to find a pick out towards mid here. The fact that it's only him that's lagging makes me think it's probably not on my end. Rodney is in a potentially dangerous situation here. As the smoke dissipates, Maro will have to deal with a double deagle situation, and they deal with it just fine. Maybe my worries are not at all needed. Dalton over towards mid, meanwhile, picks up one with a deagle, and we'll go ahead and assume an op. Now stuck in this position will be the rest of the Kier here, as it's a 4-on-3. And all CTs will be rotating inner as well, so they have a read on this most likely being an inner execute. As you see, Rodney P with the bomb in hand seems to kind of gesture towards that, and the rest of the team will go ahead follow suit as well. Grenades out. Here comes the execute into B here, but I want to keep eyes on Dalton. He has the potential to go biggest for his team. And his teammates are actually doing a lot of good work on their own, though. Mersive is only able to get one, unfortunately, for his trouble, and everyone else will fall, leaving it up to Dalton. He's in for a tough ask here. He knows where one player at the very least is, but he misses a shot. He doesn't have a chance to follow up. Surely he nearly gets a second, but it's just a bit off the mark. You can't miss shots like that. The man Bomb Train was able to come back and get his revenge on his fallen comrade. As we enter round number 8, King5 officially take back the lead. And most likely will choose to extend it because the Kier don't exactly have another good buy in them here. They're going to be forced onto pistols, no utility to speak of either, so they can't be going for any, sort of fancy flash play in towards mid or something of the sort. Darko will go ahead and try to snuff out any attempts of that as well before backing. And I'm not really sold on any of these positions from the Kier either here. You see Gabe is playing aggressive as he possibly can towards the B site. Since all the action is happening towards A, they will soon drop players like flies. Mersive is the next victim. Sins joins the party as well. Two men with pistols need to go massive, and they won't. It's a super tall order when you're going against full rifles like that, plus when they seem to know your position just perfectly. That could have been a frag for Gabe, but unfortunately neither of the players are quite perfect on their shots. It's a flawless round from King5, but it's one of those rounds that you would hope is flawless, considering, none of the players on the Kier had any sort of utility to speak of. No grenades, no armor, no nothing. So another round come through here. It looks like they are going to be going ahead and try to take at least one player over towards mid, or B, I should say. Rodney P, AWP in hand. We'll take it over towards the secondary site here. Rye immediately starts things off, though, with a nice frag. Before getting traded out by Dalton. Now it's a 4-on-4 here. This does favor the T's, but not for long, because Mersive will go ahead and immediately execute Rye, take him out of this round. Darko might have a good read on the situation, but isn't looking hell. So this could allow Dalton to get into a nice position. He still hasn't been spotted. He's perfectly content holding down hell. He feels no pressure, no need to assume a more aggressive position. However, they might bring the fight perfectly to him. Darko spots a player over towards camera. They decide to take the duel. Dalton goes ahead and tries to initiate, trade things out, does the job just perfect. Rodney will respond. AWP, again, avenging his teammate. Maro, though, oh, he's just a pain in their backside, apparently, because he's going to be able to take out Sins, making this back to an even situation. Now, silver lining for the Kier here is that one of their players has missed a Molotov, and Mersive is able to punish that perfectly here. Takes down Morrow. It's up to Rodney, who's side-graded to an AK-47, but seems to be working just fine with it. Finds it first. He's going to need to get a triple to close things out here, and he barely misses the mark on Gabe here. He survives with 20 HP in the end, and will go ahead upgrade to an AK-47 for his troubles. And that is another round going in the way of the Cure, as they get number 4. Considering that they had FAMASas for a good amount of that round, I mean, I believe they bought 2 or 3 FAMASas. I'm pretty happy with that. It's always kind of a gamble, but since the FAMAS is so good, it's hard not to gamble it. Over towards mid, KING5 have go ahead and tried to bring some of the punishment to them. But the A bomb site has been completely pincered. Has really been missing some of these fatal Molotovs, and I say fatal because they actually lose 2 people because of it. You can't keep losing things like that. Rodney P again stuck in a clutch scenario, but he'll have to ace it if he wants to go ahead and extend this lead that his team has. Tap the bomb once, and he loses his life immediately. Sin's most definitely the hero of that round. Sure, he gets a bomb defused, but I think those 2 massive kills that he got, I mean, that seriously just saved the Cure. You can't rely on constant big plays. It's one of those themes that I constantly reiterate, but Rodney P, he seems to be a victim of exactly what I'm talking about. He's sitting at 12-5 right now, the most on his team. He got a triple in that last round, but wasn't able to close out the job. And they seem to be having some conflicting thoughts on where to bring this bomb. Gabe will be going for a nice shoulder peek behind the smoke. I believe he might be able to spot a little bit of information if they're going towards connector, but he looks away at just the wrong time here. Inner we go. B-Pizzle's going to go ahead, try to take the long approach here. Might make a little bit noise if he crosses down here. He's perfectly content just waiting for some sound cues. And speaking of sound cues, he's going to get plenty. Gabe on the receiving end will go ahead, toss a Molotov out towards sidewalk here, but surely he has to expect more people coming out. He's not looking towards the right exit, and that's going to he's going to come back to bite him. As they try to keep things competitive, the Cure seem to be falling, but it's not enough. Scar with a fantastic double will quickly have it whisked away in a moment's notice. Now it's Mersive, the man to watch, the man of the hour. Left to do it all 1-on-3. He finds the first, so it's a good start, but the bomb has been planted, and that makes things considerably harder and a considerably taller task for Mersive, as it seems like he wanted to back off to save the gun, but will not have a chance of doing so. Morrow will pick up an M4, but that's a single Krieg in the hands of KING5, as I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to buy up another. Darko has plenty of money to do it, and he's someone that seems to be favoring the Krieg a lot here. Their guns won't find themselves out perfectly here. The Cure are going to be forced onto another eco nonetheless. Already off to a bad start. Mersive gets tagged down, and well, even worse news is Sins, who doesn't have a chance at Pop Dog. Mersive, that's a good headshot though. But that's pretty much all they're going to find here. Scar will get another before getting assassinated by B-Pizzle. Dalton alone. Same story, different round. The Cure just dropped. These pistols aren't able to be massive, but I mean, hey, it is an eco round. That's kind of what you'd expect. What was that from Rodney P? I don't know how he missed that, but that's going to be another frag on the board for them. Might give a gun for Dalton to work with. Perhaps he can do a little bit of economic damage, but I'm sure that he's not going to be going for this round. But since he's invested so little into this, I see no reason for him not to go for aggressive exits. There's nothing worth saving here. His run will come to an end as B-Pizzle over towards camera will go ahead and take care of any sort of funny business that Dalton had planned over towards the T-Con. And that will be a 7th on the board for KING5. They're starting to put up a pretty formidable T-side half here, and it's what you would hope considering that this is their map pick. But the Cure need to start striking back because I feel like they've been stuck on really bad, really bad buys, I guess is the easiest way to put it, for almost this entire half. The headlines don't seem to be getting any better for them as they're stuck onto another one as I speak, and they drop their first player. That's Gabe. Scar, he's been pretty lethal, all things considered, but he's going to need to go massive because, again, he still only has a Desert Eagle to work with, and he's quickly taken care of. No response from the Kier so far. KING5 will choose to execute onto the A site, where they will meet their last challenges, excuse me. I should have done some local warm-ups while I was on my way home from work, but... well, the Kier, maybe they need to warm up as well. It's another one for KING5 here as they officially win the half. 8-5. Still 2 more rounds to go here, and you have to hope that the Kier can keep it competitive. They're going to be able to get another buy-in finally, but they seem few and far between. Want to hope something changes. See another player decide to go inner. Morrow quickly goes for that down through Pop Dog. Hasn't made any noise, and there's no player to greet him over towards Pop Dog. So this might be the right read on the situation. It's Scar to find the first point of contact. That's on to B Pizzle. Quickly traded out by Mario, however. It's important to keep in note that the Kier, they just lose every single gunfight despite having so much information. This... oh, Gabe? That was strange. He looked away at just the wrong moment. Grenade through. Doesn't quite finish off the kill. Gabe is stuck in a 1-on-4. They just lose every single round. Or every single duel, I should say. This is primed to be another one on the board for the KING5. Gabe, on the verge of losing his life, will go ahead and fulfill the prophecy. 5-9. We're staring down the barrel of a 10-5 half right now because the Kier don't have a lot of money to buy into this next one. Seriously, their economic situation has been so poor, it's hard to find a lot of silver linings for how the Kier have been playing this CT. Deagles, Scouts, and an MP9 is what's on the menu for the Kier tonight as they go ahead and try to desperately get their 6th round here, make it at least somewhat competitive versus KING5, who are putting up a very formidable T-side on Train. Their map pick again, but you have to hope the Kier can make it a little more competitive. Sins has plans to do exactly that. He's going for such an aggressive position. He would be giving up potentially almost $1,000 of utility if he decides to stay behind the smoke as the smoke dissipates, and it will come back to haunt him in the end here. Scar drops Rodney P in return, though, keeping it competitive on this eco round, but we're going to need to see a lot more. That's a good start for Merciv as he actually picks up a frag onto B Pizzle, goes in for seconds, but ends up getting his fill. Rotate in towards B. Will be for KING5 here. The KING5, or excuse me, for the Kier, they're not exactly ready for it, but they get all the frags that they need to make it possible. Dalton finds one. That's on tomorrow. Here comes the plant. It's going to be a very safe one from KING5, but you have to favor the Kier in this sort of scenario here. They have one player with a kit. That's Scar, who will be trying to go for a very aggressive push over towards Sidewalk. Has second thoughts about it, but will instead commit anyway. This is going to be a very tough ask for the T side here. They assume some very interesting post-plant positions. Maybe they can just be caught off guard, but it's not off to a hot start. Darko finds one. Taking advantage on his teammates and actually gets a second one as well with the Creek. Molotov comes out, and the thing is, Scar doesn't have any utility to work with here, so he has to bring the fight to them. But as that Molotov goes through, oh, it might be too little too late. He's just barely gonna have enough time to get it. The bomb nearly detonates, but will be a defuse for Scar here. He didn't want to pull a Summit 1G, it seems, as the Kier will pull together 6 at the very last moment. But it's one kind of halftime score that really, I don't know. It's something that I'm a little bit worried about, to be totally honest. CTs are just so favored on a map like Train. At least statistically, maybe the Kier have something crazy planned for this pistol round. They will be buying up a good amount of utility, as you see Dalton and Scar both opted for plenty of grenades apiece. Taking things inner, perhaps, will be Merciv and Gabe. Sins will go ahead and join them. Towards Pop Dog will be our first point of contact as they make their way out quickly towards the A site. Rodney P gets gushed, and it's only just going to be bad news for him here. Finally, B Pizzle is able to get a kill on the board for KING5, but it comes at a cost of the Kier assuming some very strong positions, plus since dropping B Pizzle. He's still in this back line alongside Darko, so maybe they can try to make a retake happen. But considering both the players left alive only have armor, no kits to speak of, this has become heavily in favor of the Cure now. And they're playing very safe too. They know that they really don't have to take these fights unless it's brought specifically over to them here. Gabe. Actually, Sensu will go and close things out here. A nice triple for him. Makes it 9-7. Still in favor of the KING5. But this should be a giveaway round for the Cure. So they can keep things competitive at the very least. Unless KING5 pull off something absolutely miraculous. And it seems that they want to go for a miracle. At least they're betting on the possibility of it. As you see, nearly every player is bought. Alright, make that every player now that Maro has decided to join the fun. It will be a quick B push. Maro has to deal with this all alone here, and I don't think he's ready for the sheer amount of terror that might be coming towards him. And Molotov out over towards Sidewalk as some rotations are dragged on through as well. The scouts are getting some nice clean picks, or at least some good damage, but not exactly the picks that you would imagine. Sins gets naded all the way down here. It's a 4-on-4, and oh my goodness, a miracle might be coming true here. It's quickly dragged back to reality, or is it? Because they're still able to get all these scout frags that they need. It's Dalton alone in a 1-on-2. Oh, it's such a struggle for him to at least find that first kill. Luckily, though, Bry isn't there to respond until it's too little too late. And that will be another round on the board for KING5. They make it to double digits. 2 HP remaining on Bry at the very end of that. That is a round the Cure should not have given up, but they let it slip away. And that is something they have to be kicking themselves for. KING5, they decided to gamble and force up into that one. The Cure just didn't seem ready. They went for that really aggressive plant. That's not something I agree with whatsoever. It didn't do them any favors whatsoever. Ended up just leading them to lose a player. Darko spots a bunch of players over towards T-Con. Decides not to take that fight. It will be Brian B-Pizzle left to do it alone. Oh, they expect one, but they're not expecting the double commit. Finally, those cons will come through, but they're siphoning players left and right here. They lose one after another. The Cure will only have one player to speak of at the very end of this ordeal. It's Stolten versus 2. Has a deagle and knows where one player is. Might be able to hit the shot, but unfortunately, it's not to be. 7-11. The Cure, because they forced into that one, they got a good amount of damage done. They can afford to buy up into this one if they wanted to. It's not going to be the prettiest buy in the world. They're going to have low utility. And they're going to choose to go for a half buy, it seems. A desert eco, some might even say. A couple of Molotovs flashes out, and it seems there's second thoughts about going pop dog. No players waiting, so it might actually be a good idea for them. Interesting setup from KING5. They have the standard player over towards Ivy. They have a player permanently playing Hell. None towards Pop Dog. One player committed inner. That's about standard. That anchor, Maro. Finally, the fight might come to the B site. We saw on the pistol. It wasn't seen at all in the follow-up. Gabe will watch for any sort of ladder pushes as they slowly make their way. Get set up for a light execute of some sort. It'll be a smoke, I believe, towards Sidewalk. And Gabe will be going for the nice cross smoke as well. And that's an unfortunate flashbang. His teammate runs in front of it. That seems to be working out perfectly in the CT's favor right now. They're going to toss out grenades galore here, but it's AWP that does all the work for it, doesn't it? They just pick off one after another, and surprisingly, Scar actually comes out on top of that duel versus a B anchor, but surely that will be the end of his life. Indeed, it is 12 on the board now for KING5 as they seem to be running away with this one a little bit more. It can be so hard for the Cure just to build up a good semblance of economy here. If they're just not getting these bombed down. Sure, they'll have the max loss bonus in their hands, but they don't seem to be getting a ton of kills, and those bomb plants are few and far between, it feels like. Again, it's still early on in this half. This is only round 20. I'll keep an eye on some of the ADR right now. Let's see. Keep in mind, this is only for the second half, but if you want to see Gabe's ADR, it's currently at 71 in the second half. Mersive, one of my players to watch, is only at 18. For the second half, again, I should say. We We'd have to go ahead and check the ESEA match page if we want to see the whole total. Molotov out mid. Each player will assume standard locations as Darko starts to lag again. The lag switch has been activated, it seems. Maybe the Cure can do something about this. However, Darko seems to have found the nice internet service provider that he needed. And he has stopped lagging for now, but KING5, they're perfectly set up to deal with any sort of push that the Cure have planned, at least for a good while here. As you see, almost no utility for them. They expend a little bit of utility just to keep themselves safe here, but again, this is going to be such a tough ask for the Cure. Sure, it's a 5-on-5, and I mean, well, yeah. It's stuff like that. Just having so much utility absolutely demolishes Sins. Oh my goodness, KING5. If that's not salt in the wound for the Cure, I don't know what is. Dolton will need to respond with a kill. He goes for a very sickly spray, gets the job done, but it's not exactly a pretty one, and he's on the verge of getting traded as well. Luckily, Gabe's able to piece down another kill for them. Maybe this could be something for the Cure, but they have no more utility. Not for this execute, not for this post plant, but they might not need it because they're getting all the picks they need. Finally, Mara will respond with a very much needed kill for the CT side, but it's kind of a bittersweet feeling because he will go down as well. Darko. Still plenty of utility. Still that kit, and still no chance in the round. The Cure finally put together another one on the T side. Make it 8. They were good on the pistol, but that was it. Now that they've won that gun round, things can be a little bit tougher for the KING5. They'll go ahead, use the last of their bank here to try to piece together a kind of shoddy buy, really. Not pretty, but they'll have to get the job done for now. Blaster mid. Bry is trying to close the distance between them and Pop Dog right now. A response to what the Cure have been doing, it seems. Well, they have been taking a ton of Pop Dog control. It still works wonders for them. They make it a 4-on-3 here before the execute even begins for the Cure right now. It's a messy execute. So perhaps the Cure can still find their way back into this here. They've been practically given the A site. Bomb train is all theirs. It's in total possession of them, so they should get a bomb plant down for free. But this has already been a lot more expensive than the Cure might have wanted, and it's only going to get worse for them. Rodney picks up another one. It's a 2-on-4 for this retake. You have to be favoring KING5 right now, just based off the sheer numbers, especially since Sins is down to so low HP here. It's Merciv, the star of the hour, who will have no chance in this round. It's Bry who instead shows up. Shows off his prowess as they make it 13, KING5. He has been doing magic for his team in the second half. And I think it's really important to note that, I mean, he's not even the top fragger on his team despite having these explosive past few rounds. And we saw most of the game. I still feel like Bry has been doing super well, but he's only the 3rd highest fragger on their team, tied with B Pizzle. You know, on the side of the Cure here, they've been definitely struggling in some aspects. The AWP for both teams seem to be bottom fragging. We need to see some sort of changing of the seasons for the Cure, but it doesn't seem to want to happen on this round here, considering Dolton, maybe that is a change, but it doesn't seem to be a welcome one. Scar immediately is going to find a frag, but surprisingly, Dolton's able to get one with his MAC-10 before getting snuffed out. Darko finally responds in kind. Gets what they need to continue their streak of dominance here. Gabe tries to be a little bit greedy. Unfortunately, doesn't work out in their favor. Merciv alone, 1-on-4 yet again, finds 2 fantastic frags right off the bat, but there's still that same amount left. He has plenty of time. Time is not the issue here, but it's knowing where these last players' positions are. They're all a big question mark to him, and they might remain that way because Bry has gotten into a very sneaky position on top of Bomb Train right now. Merciv has no clue of it. He might be able to get the shot that he needs, and does he? Indeed he does. A nice quick scope for him will make this all the more possible, all the more palatable as Morrow, now he starts to feel the pressure building. He knows that maybe he's on the back foot now. Keep in mind, he decides to leave the bomb though, despite that being where Merciv's next destination must be. Unless he wants to go for an elimination victory, which it seems that he has plans of doing. Mersive. Can't look away at the wrong time right now. Spots exactly where Maro is and will decide to take the peek. He actually tags him down. He knows it too, so he'll try to finish up the job with a Glock in hand here. 39 HP. He gets it! Mersive, you massive man! Gets 9 on the board for the Kier off the back of that disgusting clutch. Those first 3 shots were absolutely crazy, and just a Glock to finish off the job as well. Yeah, KING5, surely you want to be talking about that. That is a round you should not lose whatsoever. And that's exactly why I say Mersive was one of my players to watch here. What a fantastic clutch from him to keep the Kier in this game. Now, this is a drastically needed pause perhaps for both teams right now, because KING5, they're not going to have enough money to buy into this. It seems like they want to force, just judging by what Rodney P has already decided to do. The Kier, they definitely need to win this one, and they need to win it in convincing fashion. Because if you lose this one, you're not going to have a lot of money for this next round here. They're going to have the minimal loss bonus. Plus, you're going to be going against 14, and when you have to stare down those barrels, that is going to make it a lot harder to try to attempt a comeback here on Train. It is map number 1. At the very least, we're going to be seeing one more. That would be Overpass, which is the pick of the Kier. If they can make this competitive and possibly steal away that victory, that would be huge. It's not meant to be, it seems, though, because KING5 have already found 2 kills, courtesy of Rodney. As he seems to back up. Now AWP in hand. He wants to cause more damage, and he's going to do exactly that, or is he? He actually misses an uncharacteristic shot, and a second one as well. KING5, they had so many chances, but it just goes away in the couple seconds, really. Maro most likely just going to be trying to save this M4A4 for another day, a rainy day. Minute 10 on the clock. So the Kier, they can even search for these frags if they want to. They'll go ahead, artificially bring that clock down to 40 seconds. As Maro now has to attempt the save. They might not go for it whatsoever. 2 players on the Kier are very low. Or, sorry, no, they shouldn't be going for the exit frags, I should say. Because Dolton and Scar are both scarily low on HP, and especially you want to keep Scar healthy. AWP would be absolutely massive to head on late game here. However, the Kier are going to be able to get double digits on the board at last here, keeping things competitive with the KING5. Dolton, you nearly died here on grenade there. I saw that, buddy. KING5 are going to be stuck on another eco here. It's not going to be the prettiest of sights. But the Kier, again, this is surprisingly an important round for them. Even though it's just an eco, the KING5 have been able to do a considerable amount of damage. You have to hope that they can keep something secure together here. Quick smoke will go out. Block off a common cross while Bry sits behind it lovingly. Maro is going to be the first point of contact over towards B alongside his teammates. They find one, but it's quickly traded out, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the worry I was mentioning before. It's a 3-on-4, and it favors KING5 right now as they look to run away with this round. Speaking of running, Dolton will be trying to desperately run out towards A, but Bry easily takes care of the bomb planting. Now it's a 2-on-4. KING5 on the forefront here. Want to close things out, make it 14. This is exactly why I was scared for the Kier here. It didn't even seem like that crazy of a strat. It was just good trades really for the KING5, and when they rotated over for A, they just weren't ready for the full commit. Mersive will go ahead and try to keep things rational for his team as he actually picks up a double. Sins with a very important third as well, and maybe they have just bailed themselves out of this. Darko is left alone, but he has an AK to do it with. High ping and no armor. Not exactly the prettiest combo, but maybe it will be possible. Since Sins misses that shot, he's given it in, but it is an artificial one at that. The Kier go up on 11, but that was too close of a call for the Kier. You cannot be securing rounds like that. It's going to slowly start whittling away at your bank, and you know, if KING5 keep on doing that sort of thing, if they get up on 14 eventually, which this might be the round to do it, you might see the Kier just completely out of it. You might see a 15th almost granted to them. They haven't really surprised me on these ecos. KING5 have done the complete opposite, though. Early Molotov through, and a quick kill for Darko right off the bat, just like that. His teammates look to avenge him as they up the pace over towards A immediately here, but Maro, he's getting so much information out towards A here. Immersive might be wise to it, though. Looks to try to trade the sap, but the smoke stops his advances for now. As it dissipates, he hears one go through. Doesn't quite hit the shot. Now he needs to run away. Mario gets out safely. Gabe scopes in and actually loses the fight to Rodney. It's a disaster after disaster. No matter what buy KING5 have, they seem to come out on top of every single duel. Over the Kier, Sin spots one, and still he's struggling to hit the shot. He goes for a repeat suicidally and loses his life for it. This is just a disaster for the Kier right now, as they're on the verge of giving up 14 to the KING5 here. It'll have to be a monumental clutch from Scar, excuse me. He does a little bit of damage onto Brian in exchange for 20 of his own. But this is a nightmare for the Kier to be stuck in. They don't have the bomb to work with. Plenty of grenades, but his life might come to an end very, very soon, as he's being pincered by multiple sides. KING5 want to close this out, want to make it 14, and indeed, they will do just that. KING5 on the verge of closing out Train here. And this is the worry I was talking about. The Kier, they have almost no more money to work with here. You see, Sins has the most on his team. He's going to go ahead, force up the AWP. It's Deagles all around otherwise. The utility, not much to speak of. They can go for a light execute somewhere if they want to, but every sort of advance the Kier have wanted to make, it's been quickly traded back. Sins gets things off to a nice start, though. They drop Darko, who is a man who caused massive problems for them, excuse me. Smoke will go out through Pop Dog, but the Kier are not phased by it whatsoever here. They will decide to go out nonetheless. P-Pizzle, he's ready for it though. Peeps out with one, Rodney with another, P-Pizzle with a second one as well. They're just picking away at them, and we're staring down the barrel of 15 as KING5 have no problem after they drop one. That force does not work out in the Kier's favor at all, as really they just keep on hemorrhaging players over and over. Backs against the wall, the Kier on the verge of dropping their first map here. Rodney P and Darko with a double AWP setup versus the Kier. They had no problem dealing with the Desert Eagles of the Kier last round. Let's see if they can be shocked into submission this time around. It looks like no. Same story, different round here. Rodney P's got to be going up for doubles here. Perhaps triples. He's having a fantastic round. A quad for him. And that's how you close out a map in style here. A quad for him. Surely, I mean, sure, it's against an eco, but my God, is that not a very pretty sight at the same time. The Kier put together a very lukewarm train as they will move on to overpass. The Kier backs against the wall again. They will have to win this map here if they want to stay in this series. They'll have to force it. You have to hope that they can do a better job than they did on Train here. We are going to go ahead and toss it to a break before we get back into the next game. Thank you for sticking with me. My name is Ito. We'll see you guys very, very, very soon.
When the sun it goes down on us, and the fall means there's no way back up, to undone, to carry on by my side, you and I. Tuning out of starlight, the innocent lifetime flickers and flash.
Set, go!
Map number 2. And they have to bounce back, the Cure. They're sitting on the back foot after losing Train 16-11 here. Now, it was the map pick of King5, as I've mentioned multiple times. I'm sure you guys are aware of it by now. But the Cure need to step up here, because it feels like it wasn't even strategic depth that the King5 had in particular that was outclassing them. It just felt like they're losing every single duel. So hopefully they took that one as a warm-up here. The Cure have pulled off some crazy rounds here. And it all starts on the pistol, which, again, we also saw some crazy heroics happen there. Dalton will go ahead, try to open things up, and loses his life in the process of doing it here. There's still a nade in play, perfectly ready for Darko in case it's needed, but he might not need it because Rodney is picking away at each member of the Cure here. He's finally suffocated, snuffed out, and taken out, but Scar will not take this standing here. Strike back with 1 kill, but it's down from a 1-on-3, or to a 1-on-2, I should say. And he will go ahead and try to bring things over towards A. He has armor and the bomb to work with here, so he has probably every advantage that you could hope for if you're on the T side. Morrow hears the footsteps over through Bank right now. He's going to be trying to thread the needle with this shot here. Scar did not spot it, and that can allow Morrow to get into a good situation. And that will just go ahead and lead to his demise in the end. His head instantly blown off as he loses a round. There's some silver linings to take from it, though, because they did get the bomb down. That would allow them, if they want to force up into this next one here, try to break the economy of King5 early on the CT side here. One of the things that we saw the Cure struggle so much with was the fact that on the T side, or when they were on the CT side of Train, they just really struggled to get a solid buy together. If that is something that they can go ahead and try to do in the Cure, or try to do to King5 in return, that would be monumental for them here. They're going to go ahead and force up triple Deagles and then double AKs on Merciv and Scar, respectively here. And, well, they already seem to be doing some good work here. Take down B-Pizzle. He was a nuisance for them in the last game. Let's see if he can cause any more trouble later on in this game. It's Morrow who steps up phenomenally for his team as he picks up 2 over towards Bathrooms. Searches for more with his P2000, but isn't given anything because all the fights are happening over towards Bathroom right now, as Darko will soon discover, but Morrow will capitalize on perfectly here. He gets another one before possibly getting taken out by this grenade. He still survives, but is finally taken out by Sins. However, this is terrible news for them. Sins and Gabe, they don't have much HP combined. It's 46 between the two. Make it only 9. Sins is left alone here, and this is not looking good for the Cure. This is going to have to require another miraculous situation, another miraculous clutch. But it was Mercy who did it last time. And Sins' hopes will blow up along with his body as King5 pick up 2. Unfortunate start for them here. But this is when we saw the Cure strike back, at least on Train. Didn't cement into anything crazy, sure, but maybe they can start putting together something here. The Desert Eco didn't seem to work out in their favor. They're going to be trying for a couple of nice pistols. Nice double boost from Merciv. I saw that. He will try to take early water control. Only player to have armor as well for the side of the Cure, so they're definitely investing a little bit of money into this, but it's all for naught, it seems. Or is it? Scar finds 1, but that's pretty much all that they're going to be able to have. It's a Scar left alone, but it's only 1 frag for their trouble, further investment, and they don't even get the bomb down. The Cure, they're going to be able to buy up into this one, and they're going to need to pull together something not miraculous here. They're going to need to pull together something nice here. Off to a good start, the King5. They'll bring out the double AWP setup to go ahead and try to further extend that lead. Try to bring it to the point of no return if they possibly can. Rodney will go ahead, bring it over towards Blue, where he doesn't get a shot. Instead, eats a little bit of Molotov damage, down to 60 for him. Nothing to write home about. But that grenade damage onto Gabe surely is. It matters a lot more for the CT side, that really early utility damage, because it allows them to get 1 shot by FAMASas now if they land a headshot, and that means a lot for King5 here. Execute or be-execute will go ahead and start to occur. Merciv finds the first kill. That's on to Bride. They don't know the second player is over towards Graffiti. but will get the kill nonetheless here as they quickly start to realize something might be horribly wrong if they forgot to clear out that area. KING5 now have to do a 3-on-5 retake, which they might not even attempt whatsoever. You see Morrow, either he's going for one hell of a long flank or he's just out of this round completely here. B-Pizzle nearly called it on this one. Spots a player go by, but can't quite commit to the frag. His life is a little bit in danger, but they both seem to avoid each other at just the right time. Morrow is in a sneaky spot, though. Might try to pick up a gun for his trouble. The Cure, though, they're ready to trade this out, worst comes to worst. Or perhaps they won't go for it whatsoever here. They might not even try to go for some of these frags. Let KING5 keep what they've bought into this one. Want to force the scenario, Morrow, and, well, he'll actually get two, surprisingly. That's two guns out of the hand of the Cure, so good economic damage, if nothing else. But considering they invested so much money, you would want to hope for a little bit more coming out of those AWPs in particular. I guess it isn't to be. Another round, another potential one for the Cure to go ahead and try to even things up here. You see Darko. He seems to be having those lag problems still. KING5 will choose to buy up into this one again, as they should. It's already off to a lethal start for the Cure here as Mersive immediately tagged down to 20 HP here and a little bit more at the end of it. Scar is still going to find the first kill nonetheless, so Dolton turning around just in time, nearly sprays down one towards blue with the Krieg. They get the bomb down safely, and that makes things a lot more palatable and a lot safer for the Cure now as they look to try to extend this into another round victory for them here. Darko's position is given away as he's forced to save it. Wants to try to pick up this AWP though. Maybe if he could get a nice upgrade, it would be something for them to work with. But he's on the verge of losing his life, and the Cure know it. They're chasing for this one. Surely they have to realize by now that he's so low on HP, and it's going to drop to 0, in fact, at the end of this. The Cure make it 2 after the buy-in from KING5, and because of that, they will be rewarded with KING5 being stuck on a Nico. However, this doesn't mean they're out of the woods by any means. If you saw them on train, you saw that the Cure succumbed to, so many rounds to a lot of these force buys of KING5. I cannot count them out just yet. Triple blue setup. Well, Rodney and Bry will go ahead, stack onto the B-bomb side. Mid-control is taken by the Cure, though. They might have the right read on this scenario. It's so common on eco rounds for teams to try to go for a B stack. Dolton might learn that the hard way, though. He finds the first frag, but won't find a second. It's B-Pizzle and Rodney to strike back with 2 of their own. Bomb will get retrieved on the side of Cure, and surely they're just going to go ahead and try to book it over to A, I should say. Rotates are starting to come in through KING5 now. Rodney P, who has the Krieg to work with, most likely going to be trying to assume a position over towards Bank. The A execute is not fast, but it is going to be the site taken at last by the Cure here, as they seem to be wanting to go for a bomb plant. Very safe one at that here over by Truck. They don't have a lot of map control secured. Aiming for a little bit here. Sins doesn't go for a jump peek. He peeks out and actually gets one on a no-scope. That's a good shot, but will not be given a second chance to try to find more here. 2-on-3. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The KING5, even on full egos like this, make it so competitive. And they actually want more here. Oh my god, they're sticking the bomb even though they don't have a kit. But they might actually get it in the end here. Mersive, he's actually going to go down. It was up to him alone. That's unbelievable, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. KING5 are so damn good on their ecos. They're better than the gun rounds, really. They will extend their lead to 4 now, as they get off to a hot start on the CT side of Overpass. The map pick of the Cure as well. Double AWPs will be brought out. Morrow, is he? Okay, no, that's just a standard Molotov that he's setting up for. Go ahead and take care of Sins for the time being, as he seems to want to rotate out of it. Mid-control will not be taken for the Cure now, as they've practically given up on all that hard-earned work that they've gotten. Bomb will get dropped. Scar and Sins will take bathroom or water control, I should say. Where Gabe is patiently waiting for some sort of peek. You see people like to pre-hit these shots, but Gabe has had a relatively slow series so far, and it hasn't changed On map 2 here, Bry looking to cause more damage. How has no one gotten triggered by that smoke yet? Surely you have to expect that maybe someone's going to be in there, but it cost the life of one of their teammates for them to finally learn that fact. That seriously should just, you know, trigger sirens off in your head that, hey, maybe something's going wrong when this random smoke is coming through over towards Monster. It's a 2-on-3. A tough pill for the KING5 to swallow here, but it's a pill that maybe their throat will reject in the end. B-Pizzle, 1-on-2. Given the first one practically for free, as Gabe now has to clutch us out 1-on-1. He will not struggle in that whatsoever. A triple for him and an AWP upgrade as well for the man. The Kier go up on 3. At the very least, the Kier are making it competitive, which I think is a really good sign. But they need to find some sort of stretch of rounds, I feel. Because again, the KING5 are stuck onto another eco round, and I almost consider this more lethal than their gun rounds, really. Maybe they can change my mind on them, but it's not off to a good start. Again, Morrow is going to be able to take down Sins immediately. And Gabe struggles to get that smoke down. He's actually going to go ahead and try to force the situation here. He gets one nearly the second, but isn't going to get it. And again, fortune favors the bold, it seems. And my God, are KING5 bold as all hell here, because they make it a 2-on-4 early on in this round here. 1 minute and 20 seconds for the Kier left to play with here. But it pales in comparison to everything that the Kier have been trying. KING5 will get away with another frag here, and again, it's a clutch. Mersive, we saw him pull off a 1-on-4 when it came to train, but he won't have any sort of semblance of luck this time around. It's another fantastic eco win for KING5. The score of map 1 was 16-11 in favor of KING5, I should say. Yes. 16-11. Okay, yeah, I checked the ESEA stats page. 16-11 indeed. That was on their map pick as well. Again, I just want to reiterate the point that this is a map pick of the Kier, and I have not really been shocked by anything they've been doing, but Darko sure as hell has. Gets naded down immediately thanks to some fantastic aggressive play. Morrow, oh, he's gone into a very sneaky position. Look at this. Over towards mid. He might be able to sneak down through the smoke and cause some real big problems for KING5, for the Kier, I should say. Finds one in favor of KING5. We'll back up. Live to fight another day. No need to force the situation, because now this is all on the Kier to make some magic happen. Morrow will go ahead, snuff out another player, and this has become considerably harder for the Kier. Keep in mind, this is an eco round. The Kier have made it more competitive than some would have imagined, but as Scar only has a Glock, no armor to work with, as well as a bomb, he'll go ahead, quickly pick up an AK to work with. Makes things a little bit sweeter for him. They need to start getting this bomb down, and they learn that they will go ahead, put it into a little more of a safer location this time around. Dalton, he's on a triple right now. He's hungry for more, though. AWP in hand, he's peeking over towards bathrooms. But little do they know, the action is happening elsewhere. It's Morrow coming in through long and Bry through CT. They're being very meticulous about this retake, and it might pay off in dividends for them here, because Bry is able to find the... Actually, he's going to get taken down. I should say it's Morrow to find the first. That nade is perfect onto Scar. Absolute dunk, and it's a fantastic round from Morrow as he picks up a quadra kill as well as a bomb defusal. That is what you call a good round from KING5. But again, it's a scare. It's not a solid round by any means. The Kier were on an eco of their own. You can't really forget that fact. The fact that they hemorrhaged 4 players in the midst of winning that round isn't exactly the best thing to take forward, I suppose, is one way to put it. Nevertheless, though, both teams will be able to get a healthy gun round together. This is an important one, too. Either team that wins this will now have a massive economical advantage as we head into the latter part of our first half. Bry, he's in the perfect position. This wall of smokes, they're blocked off by Bry's body, and it's going to pay out perfectly for him. He picks up a double before the bomb plant is even able to happen. He might be able to find another one as well if you were to extend further for it. Bomb will get planted, as I mentioned. Nade goes down onto Scar. Gabe is in a good position, maybe to take care of anyone over towards Heaven, but the push is happening elsewhere. It's happening over towards Bridge, where Gabe, he might be in a good spot still, but he's going to need to go massive here. Sins is actually the one doing all the work for his team. He picks up a double, but he needs to double that amount. As Bry is on for the ace. Lots of potential for both players. Go huge right now. Sins finds the first. Can't quite find the second. It's an ace for Bry, plus a bomb defusal as well. Seriously, it's this massive round for players. Last round it was Morrow. This time it's Bry. And it's going to be a close defuse. It's a close shave, but it's a round win for them. King5 go up on 7. What a fantastic round from Bry at the same time. Good ace from him. Closes down the gun round attempt from the Cure, and that puts them securely in the driver's seat for the next part of this half. King5 will now look to extend their lead because the Cure don't have a lot to work with here. Nades on Dalton and Gabe, and then a single flashbang on Scar. That's going to be all that they're going to have to work into this, minus the upgraded pistols, of course. Nade sack setup only ends up hurting them more than it ends up hurting any members of King5 as they quickly lose one player. That's Dalton, immediately goes down on that chopping block. B-Pizzle eats a little bit of spam damage and ends up eating a bullet to the face that comes back to hurt. 1 on 4. Gabe is left alone. A quick flurry of frags works out perfectly for King5 as they want to add another to their collection, and they'll have no problem doing just that. It's a clean anti-eco from King5, something you can't say the other way around. The Cure seriously have just struggled so much to get solid rounds together. At the same time, King5, look at this. You see the player that got their ace, Bry, is now sitting at 11 frags, but it's Morrow, the one that's surprising me the most. He's sitting at 18-5 right now. He top fragged on Train, which was a 16-11 victory for them. And he does not want to let off the gas pedal whatsoever here. He's continuing that form into Overpass and dominating the Cure so far in the first half. Darko, lag problems aside, has been doing a good job for his team. He is the lowest fragging in the server, but I guess it doesn't matter when you have such a massive victory like this. Ryan Rodney will drop with Darko right behind them. Quick grenade on through to avoid any sort of early water control, but it's taken nonetheless by the Cure. This time, though, it's all players over towards B. And B, Pizzle, and Morrow, they're exploring over towards mid. You can see that this can pay so well out, or pay out so well for King5 here, because they don't have to scout for any more information. They have essentially gotten everything that they need to know that it is going to be B execute. Nevertheless, though, they will drop a player and they will choose to execute into this B site. B Pizzle knives out alongside Morrow here, but it's Bry to find the first frag. Not a second, surely. He's actually staying alive. Finally goes down in this firefight. Gabe comes in with 2 central frags, but it's not over it just yet. They're not out of the woods, as they will soon learn, because B Pizzle coming in from behind finds one. Morrow with another. Sins alone, 1 on 2, and he's going to have to pull off something magic here, but you can't rely on magic. We've seen King5 players have no problem doing it, but you can't say the same for the Cure. They drop another round, and it's 9-3. The Cure are just getting blown out on Overpass. You have to hope that the Cure have some sort of crazy strat in their back pocket, or a phenomenal CT side to look forward to, because right now, they seem lost entirely. Bry has a Krieg to work with, the AWP setup. While it hasn't been the big factor in winning them some of these rounds, it hasn't exactly been a pain for them either. The Cure are going to force up everything that they possibly can into this. It's going to go ahead and work out relatively okay in their favor as they actually come out on top after the fact, after some of these trades. They'll get the bomb down as well. No flanks are coming early on here. Morrow's their next worry here as he gets a nice tag on the Scar. Get him down to 59 HP. That puts him within one-shot range of that M4. B-Pizzle, plenty of utility as well as an AWP. This is a tough retake, though. B-Pizzle, he is not scared whatsoever. Finds the first frag onto Gabe, but will only find that one frag before eventually falling. Morrow's left alone, and he knows that this is now too tall of an order. They will go ahead, allow the Cure to have that elusive 4th round for them, but the best that the Cure can secure at this point is 9-6, and that's a hollow victory, really. Oh, Morrow taking this fight over. What is this? I don't want to know what that was. Neither player seems to come out on top of that firefight, so that'll be an M4 saved. King5. I mean, really, whether they choose to save or force up into this one doesn't matter, because Akir, they've struggled against no matter the buy that King5 have put together. Speaking of which, King5 are going to go for something a little bit different this time around. They have a couple of players over towards mid, as well as a player towards B. Speaking of B, the Cure have immediately taken the site. However, they're not out of the woods again, because B Pizzle's still a factor in their back line. Takes down Dolton, already off to a good start, King5. Now let's see if they can extend it further here. The bomb gets planted, and that's a good start from the Cure to go ahead and get themselves that elusive fifth. But they need more. The King5 will still not give just yet. They won't let any round go without making it a struggle for them. That is how you want to start closing things out, though. It's a 3-on-2, but they again hemorrhage another player. It's already gotten way too close for how much they've invested into this one. They drop player after player after player, and they're, oh my god, they actually drop another player. Surely they're not going to have enough time to defuse a bomb. I think it's too little too late, but at the very least, no way. No way, King5, please! They get another round. How are they doing this? The Cure are just dropping rounds that they absolutely should not. That should have been an unwinnable scenario. This hurts to watch. The Cure, they can't keep choking away leads like this. Round leads, whatever leads you want to say, it's just painful. Painful to watch. Last round of the half here. 10-5 is now the best that they can see here. Both teams are going to put together every possible buy that they can. Considering the Cure put together a very healthy buy of their own, they're going to have to make some good use of this utility, though. That's the only potential scare factor. Bolton. A little spam over towards B. Scar and Gabe come up with two impressive frags over towards mid. And this is beginning to look like a healthy formula for King5. But it's too late on in this first half. This should have happened a long time ago, especially on some of those ecos. I think every single eco or force up that King5 have tried attempting here, they've won it. They have a fantastic track record of working with what they got. Bomb will get planted over on A, but it's not without its trials and tribulations, as well as they drop another player. But this should be a 10-5 victory, and indeed, it is secured in the end. Secure. It pales in comparison to what King5 have put together, but it's 5 for them as they now move on to the CT side. I don't know what to take from this one. I just really hope the Cure have some sort of phenomenal CT side that they have yet to show off. I wasn't sold on Train, but I'm going to have to be, because their back is against the wall, the Cure. If they drop this map, they will be officially out of contention for the ESEA Intermediate title. Definitely lots on the line. Players individually that I want to point out have been doing phenomenal are Bry, as well as Rodney P on King5 side. B Pizzle as well. I feel like he's had his moments. And how could I forget Morrow? Morrow has been insane. I was thinking of last map when I was saying Rodney P, but really Morrow has been incredible for his team. Nothing more you could hope for out of a player, it seems, and the score reflects that. 10-5 as we enter the second half of this map. I feel the need to reiterate once more, hopefully for the last time I'll have to say this, but this is map pick of the Cure. I mean, it's... Considering they confidently chose this one, you have to expect they have some sort of crazy plan. In their last match, they went up against Noble, the Cure, and it was two 16-13 victories. One on Dust 2 and the second on Inferno. Both in favor. The last time they played Overpass was versus Vision Esports, where they took this map 16-7. So already, King5 have put together a more respectable scoreline than Envision Esports did. They're not out of it just yet, the Cure. It all starts with this pistol. If they can win this, perhaps the Cure can wiggle their way back into this game, but they have a long road ahead of them, and they start to realize it too. Immersive. Offer a little bit of utility here. But the push happens towards B, where 3 players of the Kier have decided to post up. Walk in through water with a couple of flashes behind it. And it's a perfect recipe for a nice execute, but it's all going to get stopped in a moment's notice. A Scar picks up 2 before finally getting assassinated. Oh, but Dalton, what a fantastic shot. Gets a nice fading 1-tap on Tomorrow. 2-on-3, bomb will get most likely planted for free here. Dalton goes for a little bit of spam through the smoke. Not given. It's now Rodney to be alone. 1-on-3, finds the first one, but surely can't find the second. Indeed, no, it's tall, order too tall for him. The Kier will get 6 on the board, so that's a good start. They get the pistol round. That's exactly what they needed. The Kier, now the real scare is this. The force-up. Since KING5 did get that bomb down, they're most likely going to force into this one. They've had a perfect track record. Why not go for it? The minimum required here is a victory for the Kier. But what would be healthy is not dropping more than 1-2 players maybe. Especially since they're investing every last dollar into this one. Seem to be going for a little bit of a safer play here. They have a player flashing through tunnel. Scar spots 1, I believe that was Morrow. Will decide not to go for seconds. A little bit of damage prodding over towards mid. Leads to nothing. They will choose to back off as well. Immersive sustains about 20 damage, but he's doing fine. A lot of this utility that KING5 had bought into, the minimal amount that they did, has already been expended just to get some of this mid control. So it's a good start from the Kier 5, despite no frags going either way. But KING5 have been explosive in this, despite what you might think. Gotten away with rounds that they otherwise shouldn't have. I'm a bit scared of this setup on the A site from Immersive in particular. He's going to have to go large. And going against full armors that every player on KING5 have, I'm not exactly sure if that will be possible. Surely it's a one-and-done position. There's the one I was talking about, doesn't get a second, so indeed it is a one-and-done position. They crack their way open onto the A site, and oh my goodness, I'm having flashbacks from this one. B-Pizzle has gotten his way into a sneaky position over towards Bank as well. The pressure is on for the Kier here, as KING5 have managed to go on the verge of snatching this round away. B-Pizzle, good shot. Goes ahead and makes things even sweeter. And oh my god, it is a saccharine round from KING5. They go up on 11, only dropping 1 player, I believe it was, in the midst of that. It's their kryptonite, really, these force-ups. Every single time, I think they just come out on top. I mean, sure, it was about even that round for the Kier. They both had really similar artillery, all things considered. But you gotta at least win one of those. KING5 will go ahead and take things over towards mid, while they'll have their picking of multiple CTs to murder. They'll choose 3 and leave the rest for dessert later on. Or B-Pizzle will gladly munch down on them, making it 12 for KING5. Dropping 1 player again, that's Starko. But he has a healthy bank, no need to worry. Another day, another dollar spent for the Kier. It's not perfect. A couple of triple deagles, I should say. No investment whatsoever from Gabe, and then 5-7 and a flashbang on Sins. Most likely going to be going for some sort of crazy flash play here. The smoke is aggressive, and that might be a good start that KING5 might not be ready for as well. On the receiving end of this will be Morrow. He's been fantastic all game long. I don't see that changing anytime soon, though. Immersive, actually, he's going to find the first frag. That's over towards blue, and you're actually going to get a second one. The Kier might have surprised me at the moment. I expected at least here, as Immersive is able to pick up Galil for his trouble, but they're not out of the woods just yet, as B-Pizzle will surely remind Sins by now, as he picks up a crucial kill on the A site, essentially cracking it open, leaving it for his team to take here. Dalton, he's not ready, and, well, just like that, their dreams start fading away. The Kier, it's 2 versus 2. It's not done, but it is nearly. Scar Just having second thoughts about whether they want to try to commit to this or not, but they're already set up in perfect post-plant scenario, perfect post-plant situations, perfect saving positions. King5 most likely have just robbed this round away. Kara playing very, very safe, and I think to a fault, because they actually lose a player while trying to play safe. It's not a good combo. B-Pizzle, triple for him, looking for a fourth. He's over towards bathroom, so maybe Gabe can isolate a 1-versus-1. Unfortunately, the player is there, but the shot is not. Morrow gets it cleanly. I'll make it 13 now for King5. Immediate buy up into this. You see Merciv picking up the AWP half armor. Sins, he'll have the AWP, but no half armor for him. So they're going to be going for a double AWP setup. Maybe it's exactly the cure that the cure need. Good one, Kieran. Smoke out immediately. Mid control, not even bothered with it. I cannot talk right now. Jeez, I don't know what is up with me. I cannot talk for my life, but they can hit shots. Can't they? Fakir actually find two. Bri is able to respond with one in kind. It's a 2-on-3, favoring the Kier right now. But for how much longer, I don't really know. Again, we've seen King5 pull some absolutely incredible scenes out of them. What was that from Dalton? He got two of them. I thought that was just a given, but the other two, that was crazy. Murdering Bri through the smoke. Unbelievable stuff from him. That's a secure round, and that's exactly what you want to see from the Cure. I want to see more of that, please. Bolton with an incredible round right there, picking up 4. We'll make it 7 for Cure. Still a long way to go before things are evened up, let alone in favor of the Cure. But it's a good start. Bolton most likely choosing to flash his teammate over towards the tunnel, where there's a smoke and a Molotov waiting, but that's it. Scar looked away just the wrong time. Dalton keeps him sane, picks up 1, making a nice 4-on-5. Back foot now will be King5. Now they have to force their hand. The Kira looking a lot more stable in these past couple of rounds, but again, it's not over. King5 could just easily swipe this round away if they were given the chance. Gabe, as well as the rest of the Cure, playing safe positions over towards A. Sins is in heaven. Dalton and Scar doubled up over towards tunnels. I like this setup. Dalton is in the perfect place. They might expect one, but surely they don't expect the other. Gabe gets one nice frag over towards long before backing off his position. The push comes in through, over through bathrooms, I should say. But the frags are not there for King5 whatsoever, as they are on the verge of dropping this one. They'll set up for Molotovs. All the works here. Try to make this push as possible as they can, but it's not looking likely. Smoke comes through to extinguish that Molotov that they immediately set down. It's just a perfect recipe for Gabe to find a triple. A nice double at the end of things will put Kier on 8. That's 2 good rounds for the Cure. King5 now will be punished for the first time in what feels like forever. They're going to be stuck on pistols. You really have to guess that just at this point, this is where the King5 are most scary, really. And Sins, oh my goodness, you have to be careful with the fire that you're playing with. Luckily, his teammate will go ahead, give him that safety net that they need. Merciv will go ahead and clean things up. Gabe will chime in with a little bit of the action, but it's the Merciv show right there, really. Picks up a nice triple. It's equal round kills. I mean, really, they're not that crazy, but they can look pretty. And it's a nice way to pad the stats at the same time. Merciv has been having a slower game than he did on Train. Only sitting at 14 kills, 11 if you don't count the ecos that he just got. Molotov through. Sins will go for his aggressive B peek again. Might be able to catch Morrow right off the bat here. Goes for a shoulder peek, and it ends up working perfectly. Morrow has essentially given, or been given, that blue control. However, the cavalry seems to be coming over towards the B site. Morrow might cause a few problems over towards Connector if he feels so inclined to, but there doesn't seem to be any sort of pressure mounting for King5. They still have a lot of the map to play with here. They don't have that mid control, and the Kier should start recognizing and start pushing up on it. but they instead do the opposite, fall back. King5, practically given so much map control, will choose to stay over towards B. They're not even setting up for an execute. They're just waiting for the pushes coming from the Cure. They've been given it so many times. Why not? 50 seconds left as the push begins to mount. First face is Scar, who goes down, but Dalton, oh, he's still in the sneaky position. He's seen a bunch of people cross, and he'll have his clean pickings. He picks up 2 of them. Doesn't actually get the first, surely. Indeed, the spray is not there. Mario is going to be left alone. He finds one for his troubles, but surely he can't go further than this. 30 seconds remain. He'll toss out a nice Molotov. That's over towards barrels, but no one is waiting there. Sins misses the shot. Mario has actually been given a little bit of an inch. 20 seconds. 15. The clock goes down, and so do Mario's chances of winning this. But it's quickly dragged back to reality for just a little while longer. Just enough to give you a heart attack. The Cure make double digits, but it's not without a cost. 4 players go down in that ordeal, more than you would have liked to give up, especially when it was a 1-on-3 at one point. Keeping things alive. The Cure inch ever closer to evening things up on overpass, as King5 are stuck onto another eco. It's a blistering pace as they seem to want to take it over towards B. But surely it's a one and done position this time around. Dalton doesn't care though. He's going to find a triple with the help of Sins' fantastic flash. And Scar, he wants to clean things up but will not push for it. Rodney P, respected. Will rotate over towards Monster. Bomb in hand, excuse me. 4 players remain for the Cure. If they can go this round without dropping any more, that would be the kind of financial security that the Cure need, really. You'd have players with healthy economies buy up into the next round if needed, even if King5 make 14 eventually. They would still have enough to buy. Rodney P, though, this is a fairly impossible task. He's trying to look for a gun or something of the sort. Really, I think the best that he can hope for at this point is a bomb plants, if anything. There's no reason not to go for it. He's only invested $300 into this one. Maybe he'll try to extend for a gun, but it's in safe hands of the CTs. Clearing out every angle will be Rodney, and given away will be Scar's position as well. He jump peeks it as well. And it's the end of the line, just like that. Even though Scar's position was given away, it wasn't enough for him to capitalize upon. And it's not the most flashy round, minus Dalton's crazy antics over towards water. But it makes 11 for the Cure, as the gap has nearly shrunk by now. Double AWP brought out yet again from the Cure. Seems to be working out pretty well for them. As King5 miss a Molotov, makes things ever more winnable. Surely, Dalton, you're not going to be going for this position again, right? There's no way you do it. Smokes that tunnel. Looks like they're primed for an A execute King5 here. What does that smoke do? Oh, I like it. A nice long smoke, so they might want to take some late round mid and long control. I would imagine pushing it through bathrooms. So Sins might be the player to keep an eye on as he chooses to back off his position alongside his teammates. Immersive. Playing it slow. I like this from King5. They're using a bit of utility, sure, but it's not without its reason. Brian sustains a little bit of damage, down to 66. That puts him within one-shot range of all weapons that are not the AWP on the side of the Cure. So that's good. That could be a potentially easy and free frag. That, however, changes things, though. Sins gets taken down thanks to the magic of the Krieg, and that might change the forecast for King5. This is went from unlikely to win to possible to win. And it just gets worse and worse for the Cure as time goes on. Gabe forced to save this AWP as all the players fall like dominoes. Now, the Cure will be going against 14. This is a very scary situation for the Kier to be in right now. Money is not going to be their issue. That's not the problem by any means. But the real problem is that really King5 are just inches away now from taking this map, from taking this series, from completely eliminating the Kier out of ESEA intermediate contention. And on their map pick 2, the Kier have put up the same amount of rounds that they did on Train. But seemed to be a little more in it this time around. It was really all because Rodney got that insane pick. Kind of forced the rotations to divide on the side, on the CT side. See an AWP being brought out. That's in the hands of Darko. A double for the Kier yet again. Let's see if it will be the Kier that they need to get themselves back into this game. Keep themselves competitive. Because if you lose another, you're staring down the barrel of match point, and then the only thing that you can realistically work towards is overtime. And that is another bitter pill to swallow, if it even gets to that point. Merciv starts things off nicely. Takes down the enemy Opper. Rodney P will go ahead and retrieve it. Try his hand at it instead. Avenge his fallen comrade, perhaps. Bomb is down over towards the playground. Towards bench in particular. Forgot what that was called. On the back foot, King5 need to extend for a frag now. They're in very split positions. B Pizzle in particular. Look at this. He's just so aggressive in bathrooms right now. Perhaps trying to punish any aggression that the Kier are going for, but they will not abide. They will not let them have any space, really. They're perfectly content taking what they got. B Pizzle is going to be doing his same methodology that he did last round. Just try to bother over towards A, perhaps be given a frag. You never know. He will get punished for it this time around. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. You won't fool me twice. Bright makes Scar burn alive. Stolten hides right behind the smoke. Actually, whiffs. Oh God! I'm whiffing my words almost as much as he's whiffing the spray. Apparently, as Bright is able to come out on top of that duel. Fantastic dunking grenades, so make this round more possible and more palatable for the Kier here, as they end up only dropping 2 in the very end. That could have been potentially scary though if it wasn't for those nades and those shots at the very end of things to keep things alive. The Kier go up on 12, excuse me. As they inch ever closer and closer again, making this evened up. 14-16 is going to have to be the scoreline if Kier want to go ahead and force us to a map number 3. But we're still a ways away from that. Mid control now being taken from the Kier. This is a bit of a switch up. Those aggressive smokes come out. As they have a player pushing through Park, it will be Gabe to find the first frag. Far from the last, most likely here, is B Pizzle. He seems like he's having second thoughts about pushing through, and he'll be punished for his hesitance as he gets down to 13 HP. This is now a very tough situation for King5 to be in, as they essentially might be zoned out of it just like that. However, they should not give up this early here. They have plenty of utility to work with here. They could pull off a pretty nice execute. Darko could perhaps flash his teammates in towards the A site. He'll actually use it just to get out mid safely. The Kier still not feeling the pressure just yet. Will go ahead and back off towards their respective sites. Live to fight for another day. Right, I'm not sure if that does anything crazy, but it's a nice flash out. Dalton still finds another kill though. Flashes be damned. He actually is looking to extend for another one. Look, this is so much moxie from him. He's going to be granted with it. Aggression doesn't matter at all when Dalton's is hitting all his shots. Same story with Gabe. He seems to have stepped up massively after that performance on Train, excuse me. Dalton will eventually fall in the end, leaving Darko alone to his own devices. Down from a 1-on-5 to a 1-on-4. Soon to be a 1-on-3 if he actually hit that last bullet onto Merciv, but unfortunately, it's not to be. Double AWP brought back to life from the Kier. And this is looking kind of formidable now. However, they're not out of the woods just yet here. King5 are going to have one more healthy buy into them. They seem to want to take more mid control than they ever did before. Smoke will come through, Molotovs as well, but they have the usual duo trying to push up and try to take this control, and it's perfect for them. They punish 2 players pushing through smoke immediately, and just like that, KING5 not only on the back foot, but nearly zoned out this round entirely. There's almost nothing they can do if they don't have any map control and they're just being suffocated. Rodney P will go ahead and ground them a little bit back to reality as Gabe nearly drops as well. Mersive, he was my player to watch heading into map number 2, has already fallen, so perhaps this is a little bit of an in for KING5, but it's still a very tall order. Rodney P. He's found the only kill for KING5 this round. As he gets tagged down to 52, that allows Gabe to take him out with 1 headshot, which might be good considering he's holding down bathrooms. KING5 trying to jiggle peek these bathroom angles as well, because they have no idea where any of these players are located. They'll make their way in towards B. It's been one of their favorite sites to go to, and how can you blame them? They've had a very good track record on it. Squeaky door opens. That will immediately alert the CTs to the potential of what's going on here. Morrow won't find anything with these preemptive peeks that he's doing. They slowly make their way in towards water, but really, I mean, you've already made the noise. Surely everyone knows by now. Flash comes through. Scar and Sins will have to deal with this alone here. Scar actually struggles to get the shot. He only found 1 kill. And because of that, bomb plant surely will be granted or not. They actually get the person who's jumping across to the site, leaving it down to Bry here. It's a 1 versus 2. This is far from an impossible clutch, but it will be deemed impossible as Gabe finishes him off here. 14-14, things have been all evened up for the Cure as they go ahead and try to desperately win their map pick. At the very least, we're going to be seeing the full 30 rounds. KING5, they're going to have 1 more healthy buy left in them. Morrow is sitting on incredible 27-17. He has been doing absolute just heroics for his team, but unfortunately just not enough. AAWP seems to have been exactly what the doctor ordered for the Cure to keep them competitive on the CT side of Overpass, but there needs to be a little more, just another push, a little bit of something to get them over that finish line, to get them to that map number 3, get them to Inferno. Mersive, he's set up for a perfect frag onto B Pizzle here, if they were to so incline. However, they will not give here. They're still sitting in bathrooms, or watching bathrooms here, I should say, over towards blue. Goes for a nice pop out. Gabe hears it, but will not give up his ground just yet here. He could go massive. I'm not sure if KING5 will watch for it, though. It seems that they want to set up for an execute, just judging by Bry's position. B-Pizzle, he's forward as ever. Gabe, unfortunately, no luck for him. Bry's able to punish it just perfectly here, and that will go ahead and initiate the push for KING5 here. They're inching ever closer to that finish line for themselves as well. Sins desperately strikes back with 1 kill. It's a 4-on-3. They're still in the back foot, the Cure, but surely this is going to be at least somewhat holdable for them here. Surely they have a little bit of life left in them to make it to 15. It's not made an easy task here, especially as they keep on dropping players 1 by 1. The Cure might have just found 15 on the board here. It's a hard-fought win for them, but it's a win nonetheless here. It's Morrow, the hero of this game, left to do it all versus 3, but the time is not in his favor, and I don't believe the kills will be either. Oh my god, he finds 2 right off the bat here. It's Sins alone, now in a one-on-one here. Morrow, don't tell me you've just pulled off the heroics. Unfortunately, no. Sins, he gets a 4K, but oh my goodness, I was scared for a moment there. Like, hey, what's up, Akira? How you doing? (15-14) at the very least, the Cure have secured overtime. Secured. I get it. They want to win this map in regulation, though. There's no reason you would want to go to overtime. Sins gets things off to a good start. Takes down Bry. He was a pain in the ass for them last round. So having him taken care of is very nice. KING5 already have a very shoddy buy as well. Maro will upgrade to an AK stolen from his fallen comrade. They seem to want to make their way in towards A. Darko. Smoke towards CT. All standard and all quiet on the western front until that first shot allows Gabe to get domed. Smoke through. Now here comes the falls. KING5 for their potential last push of this match, or of this map I should say. Proving to be effective right now, but a TK actually comes through. Maro, perhaps a bit too frag hungry, actually ends up killing one of his teammates in return, but it's the only frag that seems to be going in favor of the Kira as they're stuck into a 2-on-3. A 2-on-3 that they must go for here, lest they go to overtime. Maro sneaking up from behind. We'll go ahead and secure overtime. So that is indeed going to be I was not going to expect overtime, to be totally honest. After how the Kier were playing in the beginning of that second half, I did not expect overtime, but it's overtime. That is crazy. 1st to 19 is now the score line that we're going to be looking for. And let me go ahead and check chat. Let's see who paid me to cast this Maro bot. I got paid $5 by the Kier to cast this match. $5, baby. I'm making that fat caster money. I came home from work early to do this. Gotta make that bank, buddy. But also, I just want to keep practicing casting because I like casting. Money is a bonus. Was it worth it though? Oh hell yeah, dude! I want to practice casting. I would have tried to do a game tonight anyway. I gotta practice my shout casting. That way I'm eventually will stop stuttering over my words and forgetting how to speak for a moment. Progress to be made, as you can most likely tell. And Scar, it looks like he's doing his best impression of Maro here. Look at that. Taking down 2 of his own teammates during overtime. Or during freeze time. There's the overtime I was talking about. Both teams will have 16k to work with here, so we're going to see all the big guns brought out immediately here. Darko will pick up the AWP, and it's AWP yet again, or double AWP yet again from the Cure. I guess if it isn't broke, don't try to fix it, but surely something was broken last round, and it wasn't KING5. Keeping things competitive to the very end, I see. Bry actually sustains a lot of damage over towards Playground. What was that? Nade practically swallowing it, has him down to 34. Quiet for right now as long control's looking to be taken. Rodney P spots nothing. Has a bomb in hand as well, so yeah, let's be careful not to drop here. Double bathrooms control here. You see Gabe is in a sneaky spot over by the divider. While Mersive is watching from a lot more of a vanilla angle. It seems like an AXQ is the way for KING5 to go on the first round of our overtime here. But the round is still young. We could see a potential switch up here. Seems like they've decided on their final destination though. Mersive, first point of contact, will find a frag completely for free. Gabe hasn't budged an inch. Mersive will toss out all of his utility to go ahead and try to stave off this push for as long as he possibly can. His teammate nearly shoots him in the back of the head since he can't be doing that. Gabe will find another kill over towards bathrooms. This is looking better and better by the moment for KING5 as Mersive finds another. And nearly falls to Darko, who actually misses his first grenade. He's still on the board, Darko. He'll have to do it all by himself, though. Rodney P falls in the back at the hands of Gabe again. Gabe and Mersive have been fantastic for their team so far, as really Scar will be the one to clean things up in the end. But there you have it. 16 for the Cure. If only they could have found that during regulation, because they had a fantastic round. Didn't drop a single player. Not that money matters too much when it comes to overtime, just because of the sheer amount of rounds played, but that's pretty sweet. And if you look at the kill distribution for the Cure right now, it's almost entirely even. Gabe has beat everyone out just a little bit by having 26. The second highest is 22, but from there, it's about the same. Dalton, oh, I like this potential water control. However, he's not primed on the shot. The trades aren't there either. Scar desperately gets one, but will be forced to back off his position. he's in a aggressive position over towards barrels as well. So they definitely want to try anchoring some players over towards B, where they assume is going to be their final destination. Gabe has decided to join them for a little bit of fun, while Merciv is alone at the opposing site. Rodney P, perhaps looking for a frag over towards water, won't be gifted it. It's still anyone's round at this point, as King5 desperately look to try to put this back in their favor. Spam through from Rodney. He's just trying to pull off a fake right now. It's blindingly obvious, but the cure, will they fall from it for it? Gabe is in for a close position. Oh my god. Okay, no, he's just going to be going for the safer location here. This might work out. King5 have been doing a relatively good job at checking all these locations, but who knows? Indeed, it has not changed, and that will go ahead and put things back in the favor exactly like you'd expect and exactly like you'd want. Scar will strike back with a kill of his own. Merciv gets one on the board as well. Looks for a double as well, but misses it. Sins will go ahead, keep them sane. Pick up one, making a 1-on-3 for them. And this should be another round for the Cure, unless Bry can pull off something magical. He gets one. It's a good start, but it's not good enough. Cure will go on 17. And really, there just seems to be no player that seems to be crazy standing out on the side of the Cure. Everyone is just so similar when it comes to kills, assists, deaths. It's all pretty much the same. On the side of Kings, though, you can't help but feel that Maro is just absolutely lighting it up right now. He's on 33 kills. That's average a kill per round for this entire game. He wants to do even more, it seems. He's alone over towards mid, but will be forced back off his position. Smoke down, nothing. Darko, what the hell is this kind of Rainbow Six angle? That is crazy over towards blue. He's been having crazy ping issues like this. I'm surprised that's even an angle he's bothering to take. Action happens over towards B. Scar finds one, backs up forcibly. Rodney now. He's gotten one kill, even things up. He searches for more here and nearly finds it with that Krieg spray. Blood on the walls. He adds a little bit more. Paint it red, why don't you? Merciv will strike back with a nice kill, though, keeping things competitive as Merciv actually finds another one as well, favoring the Cure now as we enter this post plant, this retake, and Merciv, he struggles to find the third, but so does Rodney P as well. They're both struggling to hit shots. Hit a shot, for God's sake! Rodney P, what did you just do? What? I looked at the wrong person, apparently. I thought they hit that shot. What was that? It's an ace for Rodney P. This is why he was one of my players to watch. I thought that round was over. It was a 1-on-3. Disgusting play from Rodney is going to go ahead and make things very competitive in the first overtime here. Still, the magic number to look for is 19. It's possible for both teams here. The Cure only 2 rounds away. The King5 only 3. If we get tied up at 18-18, we'll be going to double overtime, but that's a whole other ordeal. Take a moment to talk about things. There's a lot to take from that one. Like how to not play a post plant, apparently. Unfortunate shots missed from really both players there. But Rodney P, he stepped up just fine. Second half surely will come out soon enough. I want to take a look at the stats so far, see what we're looking at. Topping the scoreboard will be Gabe at 27 kills, Maro at 32. Rodney P had started making his way back up at 22 kills, but that ace, God, 2 players have gotten aces on the side of King now. That is unbelievable. And yeah, surely both teams are just going to talk about things before they decide to ready up and get right back into this game. It's been a very competitive one. The Cure, they're closer, but not quite there. They'll have their chance on the T side I wasn't convinced the first time we saw them. Maybe they can scare me into submission. King5 are up 1-0 here, so really all they have to do is get these last 3 rounds to close out this map, close out the series, and book their way into the semifinals of the lower bracket. Here, down but not out. They'll be setting up for a quick B execute immediately here. Try to take some water control. Nice nade though. Tags Immersive down to 68 HP. And how about a frag on top of that? B Pizzle and Mario both chime in with a couple of their own. And this is already looking phenomenal for King5 as they look to extend it. Right, a bit too late on the draw. Still finds an essential frag that's needed. It's still all fine, all quiet on the Western Front, but Scar makes some noise, doesn't he? He finds 2 with the Krieg, just like that. This has actually become a winnable scenario for him right now. Twitchy aim leads to no brain, apparently, as he loses his. And there you have it. 17-17, evened up. That was a very convincing round from King5 as well. I mean, all things considered, it was a 1-on-4 at one point. The fact that it got down to a 1-on-2 was really just heroics, really, if nothing else. Secure, though, they still want to go for this early B control. They still want water, and my god, will they work hard for it. Nothing found. Immersive will choose the entry frag right back in. Rodney P is the only person dedicated over towards the site as he made his way over towards barrels. Look at this from B Pizzle. He has gotten into such a strong location. The execute hasn't even started yet. It will start to begin right now, but quick on the flank will be all the CTs here. Rodney P and Bry both pick up kills before the flank has even been able to come in, really. B Pizzle still a factor in the back line, though. He can't count him out of it just yet. They'll be going for this plant through the smoke here. B Pizzle just has to bide his time. There's no reason to up the ante just yet, because patience leads to round victories, as they will quickly learn. 3 players remain. King5 now only 1 round away from closing out this series. Excuse me. Cannot talk for the life of me. Jesus Christ. And this is a scary prospect right now. Every single player on Kings has stepped up. It hasn't been, you know, I mean, sure, if you look at the scoreboard, you see Morrow is sitting at 35 right now. Yeah, he's top fragging, but I mean, that last round, it was all B Pizzle. Darko is really the only one that has been kind of in the dark for his team, if anyone, but speak of the devil, hits a wallbang headshot. That is disgusting. Takes out Sins right off the bat. Already a 4 versus 5. The Kier on the back foot, backs against the wall, will be forced into more and more awkward situations. It's beginning to stumble down. It's tumbling down for them as these dominoes are beginning to fall. The Cure might have reached the end. Dalton will be left to do it all, but it's too tall of an order. Dalton, what can he do about this? He'll try his hardest, but they're in all the positions that they need to close things out. And it will be King5 running away with this series, 19-17. It was close until the very end, but that CT half was flawless for King5 as they will eventually end the run of the Cure for Season 32. It was a really good attempt. At the same time, though, the Cure, while they looked lost on train, put up a lot more of a fight. It was just so many crazy plays. They were just suffocating from King5. Ends up leading them to the victory. That is going to go ahead and call it for the games tonight. I want